Hey guys, I just wanted to say thank you for using my creator code whenever you purchase any Sims 4 DLC on the EA app or thesims.com. I receive a 5% commission each time you use my code, which means you're directly supporting me as a creator. I know there are a lot of codes floating around out there, so I am very grateful that you've chosen me to support in this way. Thank you so much. Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you are brand new, I almost forgot my intro. If you are brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another speed build. And this is another build for the Not So Berry Challenge. If you did not know, I have been trying. I'm not promising that I'm going to do it for every single gen, but like right now I'm on a roll. But I have been building homes for each generation, starting from the very first one, Mint, for the Not So Berry Challenge. And this build is actually going to be for the gray generation, which I think that's Gen 4? Yeah, it's Gen 4. We're almost halfway through. That's actually kind of wild. So this build is very special to me because it is a style I have never done before. Now, I'm not saying it's exact, okay? I don't know all of the exact features of Brutalist architecture, but it gave me that vibe. So I'm going to call it a Brutalist build, but to be honest, I'm not 100% sure, so maybe I shouldn't claim that. But it's very modern at the same time, and it's very kind of, I don't want to even say industrial looking, though I did use a lot of like concrete and things like that. And let me just say, I got to tip my hat to my friend Tanya, i.e. Griffey. You all know Tanya. So they suggested that I use these windows from Get Famous, these big, bulky, concrete looking windows, and they were perfect for this build. So thank you, Tanya. But we're building in Mount Komorebi because I asked you all over on the post tab here on YouTube where you think the gray generation would start out. And that's kind of how I've been approaching it. It's like, where do they start out living? So this might not be like a permanent home. You can do whatever you'd like if you're playing the challenge, but that's kind of my approach, at least for the builds. And a lot of people voted Mount Como because this particular generation, they have the bodybuilder aspiration and they're in the athletic career. Now, be mindful, of course, that this was prior to us having Snowy Escape and maybe some other packs that offer more athletic focused careers or hobbies and things, but I will read a little bit about this gen to you now, to you, for you, whatever. You always felt that you were different while the rest of your family was busy messing around in the lab. You just wanted to be outside playing basketball. You're very good at sports and you dream of becoming a professional athlete. To make up for your non-existent relationship with your parents, you want to be there for your own children as much as possible. Oh, and you love to sing. Because why not, right? So again, aspiration is bodybuilder, career is athlete, and the traits are active, slob, and music lover. So some of the things that this sim actually has to master skill-wise are singing, parenting, and the athletic skills. You have to master the athletic career, complete that aspiration, and there's a few more other components, pertaining to like family dynamics and having good friends and stuff like that. But I decided to build in Mount Como because of all of the extreme sports, right? So the skiing and the snowboarding, the rock climbing and stuff like that, it just really seemed like a good hub. And it seemed like a lot of you agreed as well, which was pretty exciting. Because if you're in the athletic career, you can live anywhere you want. It doesn't matter. But I wanted the sim to have access to all of those different extreme sports and things. So I thought this would be perfect. Now, I haven't been doing this with every single build either. I haven't been color blocking it with the color of the gen, but this one I kind of did. I pulled back a little bit with all of the white though, because there was a lot of white. I thought it looked really nice, but I just needed a little bit more. So these couches, I do off camera change them to, it's almost like a bluey gray swatch of the cushions, and it actually matches the base game countertops that I use in this build, I think, almost perfectly. So it kind of tied the build together in a way that I wasn't anticipating. And this entire first floor is very, very open plan. We've got the kitchen, dining, and living space all in this little room. I have to admit, it made me uncomfortable. I've said this before, I'm not very good with open floor plans. I don't know, there's something about them that it's very unsettling for me, especially if there's just like a lot of space. And the style I was going for was very polished. Even though this sim is a slob, I had the feeling that they spent so much time outside taking part in all of these different sports and everything that they're more so a slob when it comes to keeping up with like their laundry or maybe their equipment and things like that. They're rarely home. They're always out doing things. So their home is actually pretty clean and pretty, I'm not going to say minimalist because it's not decorated in a minimal way, but it's not very cluttered. Like they don't collect a lot of personal possessions. They just have their furnishings and that's pretty much it. So I don't know, you might think it's conflicting considering that this house is very clean and polished and they're a slob, but that was kind of my logic. Like maybe they're just a slob about certain things. Maybe it's like their laundry. I don't know. I should also mention that this is, as it's built, a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bathroom, but I made a very tiny, I almost hesitate calling it this. I made a very teeny tiny home gym, and I'm putting that in air quotes because it's a very small room that has like a punching bag, a television on the wall, and a treadmill. And that's literally it. I just wanted to have some workout equipment in the home since this sim is so into and determined to be an athlete. You know, I felt that was appropriate, and I didn't want them to have to go to the gym to work on those skills all the time or just do the workouts on the TV. You know, I wanted them to have some formal equipment because professional athletes, I feel like you would, right? But yeah, the living room and the kitchen and dining pretty much came together at this point. I was trying to pull out some decorations and I was kind of tossing them around the house, like this decal here. It's from Snowy Escape and I thought it was great. I think I use it 2 or 3 different times throughout this, I think 3 times actually, because of all the different swatches and everything. I just think they're really into extreme sports, right? So I used a few different swatches here and there. Like I think this one here is the only one downstairs. I think I use it twice upstairs, possibly. And Snowy Escape just came with so many great items to kind of fit this theme, in my opinion. And I kind of fought this. I don't know. I'm interested to hear what you all think. Now, I wasn't trying to build or decorate the interior for the world of Mount Komorebi, but it's just the direction that I ended up taking because with the exterior being kind of brutalist-esque, I wanted the interior to be somewhat minimal, but I couldn't go full minimalism because my brain just can't compute. I wouldn't have been able to do it, but I wanted it to be very sophisticated, clean, and polished, and a lot of the Snowy Escape items just worked really well. Again, I haven't been doing that. Like when I built in Oasis Springs, for example, maybe that's a terrible example. I didn't just use base game, right? And when I built in Strangerville, I did not just use things from Strangerville, right? I didn't use the world as the only inspiration for the interior, but I kind of did here. I really liked it, but I kind of did here. I don't know why. It's something I was thinking about, but we're moving on to the second floor here, which as I mentioned is the 1-bedroom and then the little home gym and a full bathroom. Now, I probably added more windows than a Brutalist build may have, at least from what I've seen in reference images, not that many windows. And the bedroom, it's not too small, but it's smaller than I actually thought. And since I actually placed windows a little bit off-centered, it was a challenge to lay out this room. I think the off-centered windows added to the aesthetic of the outside, but yeah, it was kind of difficult to lay out this room at first, and I kept it very, very simplistic. I also added a microphone in here because again, this sim loves to sing. And I think off camera, or maybe at the end, I added a smart speaker downstairs, the Lindsay smart speaker, so they could listen to music and everything. I didn't go too extreme with the music lover trait. I more so focused on the career and the aspiration. I've also been doing that a lot, I think, with these gens. So maybe for Plum Gen, which I've already started to conceptualize, and maybe at the time of this going up, it's done. I don't know. But maybe I'll try to focus on more of the trait things, though Plum Gen is interesting because the traits feel like they're kind of all over the place and they want to be a Renaissance sim. They have to like live in 3 different worlds. There's a lot of things that they want to explore, a lot of different things. So it actually makes it more difficult to like narrow down maybe a decoration theme or something that's specific to them. I don't know. This is going to be so interesting. It's going to be so interesting to go through all these gens if I actually get through all of them. But this is going to be the home gym. Again, like I said, using those decals because I thought it would just be appropriate. It's like a 4x4 room. It's a small room, okay? It's not really a home gym, but it's nice because I was able to get this workout equipment in here. And what's great is that when you do plan on the gray generation having the plum generation, you could change this into a second bedroom without adding anything onto the house. The last build that I did, I mentioned that I thought that sim for Yellow Gen, I thought they were very like DIY and that they built their house themselves, and that as their family grew, they would just add on to the house as they saw fit. So I didn't add a second bedroom in anticipation for the next gen. I did that with it was the same with the Rose Gen. It was a penthouse. I didn't add a second bedroom. I had like this big open bedroom and office kind of situation because I was thinking that the Rose Gen having a child was going to be kind of a surprise to them, and therefore they didn't really have the space, or they didn't have a home that would accommodate a second bedroom. I don't know. But here's the bathroom. I talked all the way through it. It's just a full bathroom, very plainly decorated. And then outside I put a basketball hoop and a grill, an outside dining space. And I think that's pretty much it. It's not heavily decorated outside, but I needed something. And since they love playing basketball, I thought that was a perfect opportunity to add the basketball hoop. But that's pretty much it for this build. I hope you all enjoyed this one. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts, and I will catch you next time I post a video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Would you like that?